think that Paul's joy is somehow closely connected to the fact that he's suffering for the gospel, or is it that he feels this joy because of the audience to whom he's writing?
Well, I don't know that that's really an either or. You know, he is, in his, I mean, there's a certain loneliness that I think he feels at this particular moment in his imprisonment. And he's taken special comfort himself in not just the financial gift that Epaphroditus has brought from Philippi, but what it represents about their love, their concern, their esteem for him. And it's good to be reminded that Paul writes Philippians about the same time that he writes Colossians, where he talked about the privilege of completing the sufferings of Christ. And that brings into view this whole biblical narrative of God's suffering Son coming in the middle of time and accomplishing a redemption that inaugurates or brings in God's kingdom, and then leaves physically to go to heaven, to sit at the right hand of the Father, and then to minister in this age through the Holy Spirit as his kingdom continues in anticipation of its consummation when he comes back. And the recognition that goes with that because the Holy Spirit is the Spirit of Christ, Jesus is among us. And when his people hurt, whether it's for proclaiming the gospel, as Paul is doing, or whether it's just knowing the stuff of what it is to live in that period of time between the inauguration of the kingdom and its final consummation, that the Lord himself grieves. He is hurt. And he feels our pain because he is among us. And so part of the poignancy of this letter is that it connects us with what Christ is doing among his people and how we have the privilege, as Paul goes on to say here, of knowing the fellowship of his sufferings.